Imagine for a moment that the universe is alive, watching, listening. Have you ever paused, just for a second, and wondered, what if that weird coincidence wasn't random at all? What if the song that plays right when you're thinking about someone, the stranger you meet at exactly the right moment, the number that keeps showing up everywhere you turn? What if all of it was trying to tell you something? Not luck, not chance, not some glitch in your imagination, but real, a secret language hidden inside reality itself. Today I'm going to show you something most people never notice, how life is speaking to you every single day, and how you can finally start listening. We've all been there. You're walking down the street thinking about something completely random. Then out of nowhere, it happens. A song plays, a thought crosses your mind. You look up at the clock, and there it is, the exact number you've been seeing everywhere. It feels too perfect, doesn't it? Almost like the universe has tapped you on the shoulder and said, "I see you." But what do we do with that feeling? Most of us brush it off. We tell ourselves, it's just a coincidence. And here's the thing, that's exactly how we've been taught to think. Society tells us that everything is random, that the world runs on logic, order, and structure. You're told things happen because of cause and effect. There's no mystery. Everything fits neatly into a box. No gaps, no unexpected twists. Just the way things are, or so we're led to believe. But what if that's a lie? What if randomness isn't the truth? What if it's all part of a carefully constructed illusion? What if the strange, unexplainable moments that feel like they're more than coincidence are more than coincidence? The forgotten language of life. Now take a moment and think back to when you were a child. You remember those moments, right? When you just knew something was about to happen. Maybe you'd think about someone, and within minutes they'd call you. Or you'd feel a shift in the air, and suddenly the world seemed to line up just for you. As kids, we were in tune with something far greater than we realized. We saw patterns, felt energies, understood things we couldn't quite explain. But then as we grew up, we were taught to turn off that connection. The logic, the numbers, the rules, they became the only truth. Our world got boxed in. The mystical question mark pushed aside. The unseen labeled as imagination. But here's the twist. What if that so-called imagination was actually our truest form of awareness? What if we were picking up on something deeper, something hidden right in front of us? You see, life doesn't just communicate through words. It speaks through patterns, subtle yet undeniable. The universe doesn't speak in a language we were taught to understand, but it's been sending us messages all along. The real question is, are you ready to listen again? Why most people miss the signs? So why don't we notice these signs? Why do so many of us walk through life completely unaware that the universe is speaking to us? It's because we've been conditioned to believe that life is simply a chain of mechanical events. We've been told that everything must have a logical explanation, that there's no room for magic or mystery in the world. Think about school. What did they teach us? To memorize facts, follow the rules. But what they didn't teach us was how to listen to our intuition or how to spot the hidden patterns that shape our reality. From a young age, we were taught to shut off that intuitive sense, to ignore those subtle nudges. Do you remember a time when you sensed something before it happened? Maybe you had a gut feeling about a person or a situation, but instead of trusting it, you dismissed it. That's what happens when we ignore life's signs. We disconnect from the very forces that could guide us. It's like walking around in a fog, thinking the world is just a random series of events, while all along, the map to our greatest potential is sitting right in front of us. And here's the hardest truth. Most people live their entire lives in that fog, never realizing they've been ignoring their real power. But if you're still with me, you're starting to feel it. Maybe, just maybe, the fog is starting to lift, tuning your mind to the hidden frequencies. Now let's talk about something powerful. You've probably heard the phrase, you become what you think about. But what if that wasn't just some motivational quote? What if it was a law of the universe? Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a radio, constantly tuning into different frequencies. Every thought, every emotion, every belief you hold is a frequency. The more you focus on something, the stronger that frequency becomes. The more you tune your mind to certain thoughts or feelings, the clearer the signals become. Have you ever bought a new car and suddenly you start seeing that exact model everywhere? It's not that everyone just started buying the same car at the same time. No, your mind was just tuned into that frequency, so now you're noticing it everywhere. The same thing happens with patterns, with synchronicities. The moment you start paying attention to those subtle signs, the songs, the numbers, the feelings, your mind begins to focus on them. It filters reality differently, searching for the patterns you now know exist. And once you start seeing them, you begin to notice more and more. It's not magic, it's attention. So how do you tune your mind to these hidden frequencies? First, you have to set clear intentions. Ask yourself, what am I looking for? If you're seeking guidance, ask for it. The universe doesn't always speak in straightforward ways, but it speaks in symbols, emotions, and experiences. When you start aligning your thoughts with that search, suddenly the world starts speaking back in the form of signs you can't ignore. But that's only part of it. You also need to raise your vibration. And when you do, the whole world shifts with you. Acting on the signs. Recognizing the signs is just the beginning. But here's where most people fall short. They see the pattern, they feel the nudge, but then they hesitate. How many times have you experienced something that felt too perfect to be coincidence, but then let it slip away because you doubted it? You saw the repeating numbers. You felt the strange sense of déjà vu. You knew you had to do something, but instead of acting, you waited. Waiting for more proof, waiting for more certainty. But here's the truth. Certainty will never come before you take the leap. If you wait for that perfect moment, you'll miss it. The universe doesn't send you signs to keep you in your comfort zone. It's showing you the way forward, and you are the one who must walk through the door. Here's what I want you to remember. Every time you act on one of these signs, you're telling the universe, I trust you. The more you trust, the more signs you'll receive. The more you follow, the more the path will unfold. This is the power of momentum. It's how people who seem to live lucky lives are actually in deep alignment with the flow of the universe. They don't sit back and wait for more evidence. They take action. So the next time you feel a sign, a nudge, an intuitive pull, don't hesitate, act. Trust the process. Follow where it leads. Because once you take that step, you'll find that life begins to rearrange itself in ways you never thought possible. The key to strengthening the connection. You've seen the signs, you felt the energy shifting, and now you want more. But here's the secret. The more you notice, the more you'll begin to attract. So how do you strengthen this connection? How do you tune in more clearly to the hidden messages around you? The answer lies in 3 simple but powerful practices: awareness, alignment, and action. First, awareness. Start by paying attention. You'd be amazed how many signs you miss when your mind is distracted. This isn't just about looking for obvious clues. It's about feeling the subtle shifts, noticing when something feels out of place, or when everything feels like it's perfectly falling into place. Begin each day by asking yourself, what messages am I receiving today? What is life trying to show me? Then alignment. When you recognize the signs, make sure your energy is aligned with them. You can't receive these messages when you're trapped in doubt, fear, or negativity. You need to be open, clear, and trusting. Meditation, gratitude, mindfulness. These practices help you align your energy with the universe's flow, making it easier to tune in. And finally, action. Take those steps, no matter how small they may seem. The universe rewards movement. The more you act in alignment with the signs, the more you will be shown. Think of it like this. The universe is a mirror. When you align your energy with it, it reflects back to you exactly what you need. More signs, more opportunities, more synchronicity. The power of trusting the process. Here's where the real magic happens. Trust. Trusting the process means letting go of the need for constant certainty. So many people see the signs, but they second-guess them. They question, is this real? Should I act on it? And in doing so, they delay their own transformation. But here's the truth. Certainty never comes before action. If you wait for everything to line up perfectly before you take that leap, you'll be waiting forever. The universe doesn't ask you to know every step of the way. It asks you to trust that the next step will appear once you take the first one. Trusting the process means acting on the signs even when you don't have all the answers. It means moving forward with faith in yourself, in the guidance you're receiving, and in the universe that is always working in your favor. This trust is like planting a seed. You don't see the tree the moment you plant it, but you trust that it's growing beneath the surface. And just like a seed, when you trust the process, your life begins to bloom in ways you never imagined. The more you trust, the more the signs will multiply. The more you act, the more the universe will confirm that you're on the right path. So I want you to think about the last time you experienced a sign. Did you trust it? Did you follow it? Or did you hesitate and let doubt stop you? Remember, when you trust the process, you're not just waiting for something to happen. You're creating the future you've always wanted. The art of decoding life's signs. Now that you're beginning to notice the signs, the real question is, what do they mean? How do you decode the messages life is sending you? It's not as complicated as you might think. First, you need to understand that life speaks to you in symbols, numbers, and patterns. These signs are never random. Each one holds a piece of information, a clue, that leads you closer to your true path. The key is to ask the right questions. When a sign appears, whether it's a number sequence, a random encounter, or a feeling, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, what was I thinking or feeling before this happened? What decision am I facing right now? Does this message confirm or challenge something I've been wondering about? Start writing down your experiences in a synchronicity journal. Track every time something unusual or meaningful happens. Over time, you'll begin to see patterns emerge. You'll notice that certain signs always appear in specific situations. Maybe the same number sequence shows up when you're at a crossroads in your life. Maybe the same animal keeps appearing when you need guidance. The more you pay attention, the clearer the messages become. And here's the secret. Life is not only sending you signs, it's also waiting for your response. When you decode a sign, don't just sit there, act on it. If you keep seeing the same symbol or phrase, don't hesitate. The universe is inviting you to take action. The more you respond, the more you'll receive. And the more you follow, the more your path will open up in front of you. Conscious creation, using synchronicities to transform your life. Now that you've seen how life speaks to you, the next step is using this knowledge to shape the life you want. This isn't just about passively receiving signs. This is about consciously creating your reality. When you start paying attention to synchronicities, you're tapping into a hidden force, an energy that's always been there, guiding you toward your highest potential. The universe doesn't just want you to observe these signs, it wants you to participate in the process. And here's the truth. Once you start aligning with these signs, you're no longer a passive observer. You are now a conscious creator of your own reality. How do you become a conscious creator? It starts with intention. Set a clear intention. What do you want to create in your life? What do you want to manifest? The more specific your intention, the more clear the signs will become. Then align your energy. Raise your vibration through practices like meditation, gratitude, or visualization. When your energy is aligned with your intentions, the universe will respond. And finally, take action. Don't just wait for the signs to show up. Respond to them. Act on what the universe is showing you, and in return, the universe will bring more of the right opportunities, people, and circumstances into your life. The more you engage with the synchronicities around you, the more your reality will shift to match your desires. This is the art of conscious creation, seeing the signs, aligning your energy, and taking inspired action. And when you do this, life becomes a co-creative process. You're no longer waiting for life to happen to you. You're making it happen. So I want you to think about this. What would your life look like if you trusted these signs, acted on them, and used them to create exactly what you want? The truth is, the power has always been in your hands. Now it's time to use it. Integrating synchronicities into your life. Now that you've unlocked the power of synchronicities and learned how to decode life's hidden messages, the real question is, what are you going to do with this new knowledge? Most people, after hearing all this, will go back to their old ways. They'll notice a sign, feel that spark of magic, but then they'll brush it off as coincidence once again. But not you. You're different. You now know that the universe doesn't speak randomly. It's trying to guide you, to show you the way. The only thing left for you to do is to take action. Don't wait for more signs. Don't wait for more proof. Take the first step. Start noticing the small signs that have always been there. Follow your intuition, trust the patterns, and align your actions with the guidance you're receiving. Because here's the secret. The more you trust these signs, the more they will appear. The more you act on them, the more the universe will arrange your life in perfect alignment with your desires. It's time to step into a new way of being, a way of living with intention, awareness, and trust. You are no longer just a passive observer. You are a co-creator with the universe. So as you move forward from today, remember this. Synchronicities are not just rare moments of magic. They are a way of life. Life is trying to speak to you, and now you know how to listen. Embrace the signs, follow the path, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. So now you know. Life isn't a series of random events. It's a beautiful, interconnected web of messages, patterns, and signs that are always trying to guide you. And the best part? You already have everything you need to understand it. From now on, you don't just wait for life to happen to you. You take action. You trust the signs, decode the patterns, and consciously create the life you desire. The universe is always speaking to you, and now you have the keys to listen, to interpret, and to follow its guidance. So step forward with confidence. Take that first step and know that every sign you encounter, every pattern you notice is leading you to something greater. This is your moment. The universe is ready to co-create with you. All you have to do is listen and act. Thank you for joining me on this journey. The adventure has only just begun. Trust the signs, follow the path, and watch as your life transforms. If this video resonated with you, I'd love for you to like, share, and subscribe for more content on how to live with purpose and align with the flow of life. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an opportunity to step into your true power. Leave a comment below and let me know. What signs have you been noticing in your own life? How has the universe been guiding you? Keep trusting, keep creating, and as always, stay aligned. See you in the next one.